There is the Karnataka government's decision that has now created a new controversy. The decision to remove portions of RSS founder and ideologue Keshav Baliram Hedgewar from state textbooks, calling him a fake freedom fighter and a coward. The move has been slammed by the BJP as vindictive politics of propaganda. The BJP has reminded the Congress of Hedgewar's nationalist credentials and the respect his ideas received even from tall Congress icons of his time. From Mahatma Gandhi to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to Pranab Mukherjee, Hedgewar won respect of most and was even feted in 1992 by a host of Congress leaders after he walked out of jail after refusing to retract his statements deemed seditious by a judge of the British Empire in 1921. But the Congress says it is desaffranchising education. Listen in to the war of words.
It is absolutely wrong. ये उनका एक तरह से नियत है, उनका DNA है कि they want to write off whatever out of history whoever is not part of their dynasty. ये तो उनका एक तरह से एक repeated behavior है ना इनका. हेगडेवार जी के बारे में एक तो erase करना या गलत misinformation create करना एक तरह से it is doing a huge disservice. It is a crime against the people of India, the crime against the youth of India.
ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯವರಾಗಲಿ ಸಂಘ ಪರಿವಾರದವರಾಗಲಿ ಹೆಡ್ಗೆವಾರ್ ಅವರು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಕ್ಷಮಾಪಣೆ ಪತ್ರ 6 ಬಾರಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ರದೇ ಆದ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಚಿತ್ರಗುಪ್ತ ಅಂತ ಅವರೇ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಕ್ಷಮಾಪಣೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಂಥ ರಣಹಿಡಿಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಪಠ್ಯಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ.
Whatever is good for the unification of the country, for the unification of the nation, are something which needed to be inculcated in the young minds, not glorifying those leaders or those icons who laid the foundation or who sowed the seeds of division in our country.
The BJP has done is try to infuse their ideological issues into textbooks, which is not correct. So Congress party will have to look at it very seriously and take corrective measures.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Dr. Ajay Alok is joined by Dushyant Sridhar, Vedic scholar, and also joining him is Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress party. And Lokesh Jindal, is this payback by the Congress party? Aurangzeb hataoge to hum Hedgewar hatayenge. Is this a simple equation that is being built in Karnataka?
Good evening, Navika. Navika, it was BJP which introduced a 5th chapter in the 10th standard syllabus, which had titled that who should be your role model. And a speech of Dr. Hedgewar was mentioned over there. We need to clearly understand that the secondary education curriculum aims at introducing the students to various disciplines, and a generalistic overview is given to them. It is clear by the historical narration that Dr. Hedgewar did not play a very major role as that of Gandhi or Dr. Ram. RSS, and he played his historical role, but his role with respect to the resistance or India's freedom struggle was very limited. RSS did not participate in civil disobedience movement, neither did it participate in the Quit India movement. So trying to emulate, trying to project Dr. Hedgewar as one of the major contributors to the Indian freedom struggle and trying to promote his thoughts, ideas to a nascent mind of that of secondary education is indoctrination. His views, his thoughts are very much there. His views and his thoughts are very much there. Oh my God!
It is, it is indoctrination. And what is wrong with his statement? I can read out several parts of his statement that would sound extremely patriotic to anybody in their right minds. And you call this, you know what he said? He said, it has been charged that my speeches have spread discontent, hatred and feelings of sedition towards the British Empire in the minds of Indians and sown seeds of enmity. He says, I do not recognize that there exists in India today any lawfully established government. It will be surprising if anybody should claim so. What obtains today is a regime of usurped authority and a repressive rule deriving power therefrom. The present laws and codes are but handmaids of this unauthorized regime. What's wrong with this statement?
That was a speech given after non-cooperation movement when he was put into prison.
Yes.
But after 1925, if you consider his speeches, they have a different tenor altogether.
Well,
see,
Ajay Alok.
Right from, see, we have studied his life from 1925 to 1940.
Ajay Alok,
how he
you know, 1921, Hedgewar ji was somebody else, and after 1925, he was somebody else. They are okay with Hedgewar of 1921, but not after that. Makes sense to you?
It makes sense to no one. Neither you nor the people of this country nor the people of Karnataka. Is there habitual hatred towards RSS and Hindu religion, that they are bound to change and they are bound to do all those things which are not supposed to be done. My friend Lokesh doesn't know that Mr. Hedgewar, he was expelled from school, Neil Public School, Neil Civil School in Pune. You know why? Because he chanted Vande Mataram. He was famously called as Dr. G, and he worked all his life to strengthen India, to revive the ethos of this country. What you call cultural nationalism, the first glimpse came from Mr. Hedgewar, and your BK Hari Prasad, who is an habitual rabid person, who can equate MLAs of Karnataka to prostitute, and who says that the loudspeaker people are like terrorists, loudspeaker protesters. He says words about Hedgewar. I mean, why you guys are so venomous towards RSS and Hindu religion and towards Hindu ideology or Hindu principles?
Let me reply.
What gives you kick in doing
Dr.
this?
Hedgewar and Dr. B.S.
Why Congress party does like this?
The RSS, they were deeply influenced by Benito Mussolini.
Dr. Hedgewar, see, doctor, they were original from Congress. If you take politics, Dr. Hedgewar was in Congress. He left Congress because of its policies. You guys, the Congress people, they never let anything happen to this country. You guys are against the ethos of this country. You guys are against the Hindu value of this country. This is your problem. This is your problem. The Congress problem is the basic anti-Hindu philosophy. And that's why you are rabid towards RSS.
1 minute. Let me get in Mr. Dushyant Sridhar. Non-partisan, I want your view, Dushyant Sridhar, whether there can be questions about Dr. Hedgewar in the manner in which the Congress talks about him. Was he not a patriot? Removing his lessons, is this just political? Or is this, you know, looking at history just the way they look at Savarkar and his role in history, now Hedgewar in the same light?
Namaskaram Navika, and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. When non-historians fight, what becomes a big topic of debate is history, and when history is rotten, then the education system gets rotten. Because in my humble belief, Navika, when we don't look into our past and we don't learn lessons from our past, we won't have a glorious future. That said, with respect to history, two big sins that people shouldn't commit with respect to history is: one, not presenting the history as is; two, concocting the history. So in my humble opinion, I feel whatever be the icons, you don't have to call them freedom struggle specialists, or you don't have to call them people who have really fought. You can present their life history as is. So just masking, removing, you know what's going to happen? See, as a person who was born and raised for a large part of my life in Bangalore, I know what I've studied. For a very long time, we have gone to fancy dress competitions as Tipu Sultans until I get to read his own letters that he had drafted, where he had ordered and he gloated about killing so many Hindus. So the point that remains is, again, Tipu Sultan should be studied. He should be studied from both the angles, the way historians want to present, at the same time masking history, not giving the other side of history at all a chance, is a big injustice. So we have known for a very long time that Ashoka turned into a Buddhist only after the Kalinga War, until we have beautiful inscriptions that state that he became a Buddhist even before the Kalinga War. We were told that there was a person called Shah Jahan who constructed the Taj Mahal for his dear wife. But have we heard about Udayamati, who constructed a beautiful Rani Ki Vav, which is there on a 100-rupee note for her husband, Bhima the first of the Chalukya dynasty, 500 years before the Taj Mahal was constructed. So my point is, Taj Mahal construction should also be mentioned as much as Rani Ki Vav. If Nehru, Gandhi, and all the icons whom we all revere are quoted in history textbooks, what is wrong in giving the history about the other set of people as well? So it's very long time, it's high time that we get out of this huge bubble of rightification, because leftification has had its fair share.
But Dr.
I
Sridhar,
feel that
over here,
some amount of representation of the right ideologue should also be given.
To include all these thinkers in the curriculum of secondary education students. Please understand. Yes, you are absolutely right with respect to graduation and post-graduation curriculum. These standards have been upheld by the University Grant Commission. Let me tell you, as compared to other regions, other nations, India's education is secular. It has not been distorted yet, despite the present dispensation trying hard so as to bring about some form of a deformity in the education curriculum. But when it comes to primary and secondary curriculum, we have to take care that these are students who are being
Lokesh, are you hearing yourself? Are you hearing yourself? Is that even logic that you're giving?
No,
yes, Mr.
Navika,
Dushyant.
My point is,
Navika, I'm just sorry, I'm just a small intervention. A small intervention. He just said that the education system.
Can I complete my point?
No, Lokesh, you've made your point. I want to listen to Mr. Dushyant, who's a non-partisan people. Let's listen to that voice as well. Yes, Mr. Dushyant.
Navika, he did say that the education system has as far as now has remained largely secular. I don't know, not presenting the very tyrant part of Tipu Sultan, the way he massacred, the way he has killed so many people, the way he has gloated, is that a part of the secular education?
Sir,
well,
you are a student of history.
Good question. We have read history as it has been presented to us. Ajay Alok, I'm completely short of time, but I'll give you 30 seconds.
See, history has always been his story for the Congress. Now you have heard for the first time there is a communal education, there is secular education. आपको पता है communal क्या होता है? आपके दर्शकों को मैं बताना चाहता हूँ. कांग्रेस के लिए कम्युनल है. If you talk about Hinduism and Hindutva, it's communal. But if you talk about Muslim and if you say PFI is a secular party, if you talk about benefits for Muslims, it becomes secular. This kind of mentality, this kind of mindset has been ruling in India for the last 60 years, and it's time to get rid of. And that's why you are not in the power.
Absolutely. The question tonight is, are we just changing syllabi to suit our political objectives? Are we coloring history? Why not read every part of history? I'm not saying favor one over the other, but give everything about everybody in history. Why be obsessed with one kind of history? That is the question. Why only Taj Mahal? Why not the other rulers before that? Why only the Mughals? It's a question that will continue to be asked. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the Newshour tonight. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Do keep sending us your comments and your views about how you liked this particular debate tonight. Good night. Peace.